Good evening all, and we're live, finally taking a couple of seconds there for me to get live properly, the connection here, but remember everybody to like, comment, share this video. Delighted tonight to be announced, obviously on here tonight, Southampton, Liverpool.
Yes, people, good evening. I think there's been a bit of a technical hiccup by Darren, Daz TV on his side, but anyway, we're here for a live pre-match preview between Southampton and Liverpool in the Premier League, taking place tonight at 7:45 p.m. And as you know, guys, all Liverpool fans must be aware now, the team news has already come out. So, just going to try and see if we can wait for Daz to come in. I think he's having a glitch, a hiccup there with the connection, whether it's bad, so that may be playing a part. But anyway, we're going to get started, guys. Instead of leaving you hanging, we got to those that are live. Oh, he's back. He's back. That's better, Daz. The quality looks better. That's better, Daz. Yeah, he's having a bit of issues, guys. Anyway, we're going to... Here he comes again. Here, that's it. And you look more HD now. You was looking 1990s quality not so long ago.
it was like talking to someone back a few years ago.
I was stalling because I was going to do the team news and I'm thinking he's coming back. So as you can see here, people, Daz is here.
Yes, so tonight, as I was saying, Southampton, Liverpool, huge game, 2 huge games left in the league. Southampton's last home game of the season, then they go to Leicester on Sunday. Southampton last season, not much comparison with last season. They're safe at this stage of the season. Last season they got 43. Mathematically this season they can get 46 points, but that's a huge task. In order to do that, they need to beat Liverpool tonight and then obviously away to Leicester at the King Power on Sunday. What a time to be a Liverpool fan, Laser. Back of it, double delight, big win at Wembley again on Saturday, beat Chelsea again on penalties. Scenes were incredible. I had a great day out. I know you had a great day out. But that's all over with now. It's done and dusted. We're guaranteed that we're going to do the double with the 2 competitions. What's your thoughts on tonight, Laser? Huge game, by the way.
Everybody knows how I feel about this, you know. Big up to Ruddy as well. I'm not giving up on the league, but I've come to terms with it in the last week or so. I thought to myself, you know what? Regardless of what happens between now and the end of the season, if we leave now with 2 domestic trophies, that's a brilliant season. You know, pushing Manchester City to the wall, you know, whether it's 3 points or 1 point is an excellent, you know, achievement, considering the levels Manchester City have set. They've raised the bar, and for us to challenge them in this manner, being in all the competitions and playing 60-odd games is a fabulous achievement, and we've got to be proud of the team. But all that's in the past now, winning those 2 trophies, beating Chelsea twice. We focus on tonight's game. Now, looking at the team, it was inevitable that there was going to be changes. Now it's a lot of changes, but Jurgen Klopp has a lot of faith in the squad. It's a squad. You've got to remember, guys that are going to be playing tonight, Jotas, your Bobbies, your Minaminos, your Elliots are more than capable of doing the job. They've played games in the Champions League this season. They've played in the cup competitions. Yes, it was lesser opposition, but there's enough quality there to do a job. So it's all about getting the 3 points. It's not going to be pretty. I expect it to be gritty. You know, we get out there, get the 3 points and move on to Sunday. And if there's a twist in the tail, it's meant to be.
Totally agree, absolutely. 9 changes tonight. Ali and Kanata are the only 2 that keep that place. You can see there on the screen, Gomez comes in for Trent. You have Matip, Konate, a centre back. They finished the game the weekend. Tsimikas comes in, the penalty winning goal at Wembley. Then obviously in midfield, then it's the whole of midfield. It looks like it's going to be Milner with Jones, Curtis Jones, and young Harvey Elliott, who hasn't played what seemed like in a lifetime. And then up front is the top scorer in the 2 competitions that we've just won, Minamino. Roberto Firmino comes back in to start, and Diogo Jota, who come on Saturday for the injured Mo Salah. Look, we knew at the game, 120 minutes penalties. Mentally, physically, took a lot out of Liverpool against an unbelievable opponent in Chelsea. We did get injuries on the day with Fabinho injured going into it. It looked like Thiago was pulling up. Salah, we know, came off. Van Dijk went off, so we knew tonight there was going to be changes to this game. Probably didn't expect, to be fair, 9 changes, but we have to trust in Jurgen Klopp, and if we don't trust in Jurgen Klopp, we haven't learned anything, you know.
Exactly.
Southampton tonight, look, I mean, no disrespect to them, these are going to make it the last home game of the season. They're going to make it really, really tough, and Southampton, you just don't know what you're going to get out of them there. You really don't. It was only last season that we went there at the start of January and we lost 1-0 there, and we were awful that night. We were desperate that night.
Yeah.
And it was the start of a really, really bad run for us. We only drew against West Brom, I think it was a few days. Newcastle and West Brom a few days before that. But
back to back that was bad.
I'm looking at this lad, Broja, that starts up front for him tonight. He's a 20-year-old. He's young Albanian international. He's on loan actually from Chelsea. I think he's the second top goal scorer behind James Ward-Prowse, who obviously has got a lot of goals, and what a player he's been this season for them. But we should have enough with the confidence, with the belief, with the momentum at the moment, with us at the win the double, with just how good we've been of late. And any player that comes in has had a point to prove and has proven they've a point to prove by putting in performances. But 9 changes tonight is huge. But look at the bench. If we have to bring on anybody, look who we have starting on the bench tonight, Laser. Like, I mean, we've Luis Diaz there, who's been unbelievable. Origi, we know, come on and get a goal. We've Henderson, we've Naby Keita, Thiago, Oxlade-Chamberlain. There's goals, there's creativity there, there's spark if we need someone to come on and change this game for us or get a goal.
Looking at it,
going wrong tonight, Laser.
It looks like Southampton have made changes themselves. You know, they've had Armstrong dropped to the bench, Benderak as well. And those are decent players. You know, the last game they played was against Brentford, and they got beat 3-0. But I'm not sure if it's a little bit of mind games just to throw off us track, because Hussenthal, the Southampton manager, was saying it's their Champions League. And if you remember last season, as you alluded to, when they beat Liverpool, he dropped down to his knees and he was starting to cry tears of joy. And it's weird. I look at it because at this moment of time, that was in January last year. Now, we're on the penultimate game of the season, game week 37. What does Southampton have to play for other than pride, giving their fans a good send-off? And I expect the game to be bitty, gritty. You know, I expect them to have a little goal, a little spell, maybe a 20-minute spell with a pushing on. I do believe we've got to watch out for fouling around the area, because as we know, their danger man is James Ward-Prowse. Yeah. You know, he's had a spectacular season with the free kicks, you know, from the dead ball positions as well, penalties, whether the free kicks and the edge of the area. He's had a fabulous season, and we have to watch out for that. We have to be careful. I do believe as well, Che Adams poses a threat aerially. He's had a decent season for Southampton this year as well. But I think if we remain professional, calm and composed, you know, snuff at their danger areas, we should have enough to see the job through. For me, I'm looking more to a close win. You know, it's going to be bitty. It's not going to be easy. It may not be pretty on the eye initially, but we just got to get that job done and carry it on to Sunday. That's all it is for me tonight.
Well, the thing is, I believe we'll win tonight and we'll win Sunday, but unfortunately, it's out of our hands and it has been our season. We obviously need Gerrard, Coutinho, whoever it is, return of the legends. We need at least Philip to take a point off City the weekend, which, look, I suppose it's possible, but with it being the grandstand finale, City last game at home, City would have a hugely disappointing season if they didn't win this league. This, for me, is the minimum requirement for City, because you look at the spending, you look at when Pep went into City, they were already winning league titles. This time last year, it was the Aguero moment, you know, they won it in 2012. For me, ladies, and I've been saying to you off here, this City team, they want the Champions League. They want that badly. This season was a great chance for them to get again to another final. And the fact it didn't happen, it's almost like us with that 30 years going to league title. You never feel like it's going to happen. And you always feel like your best chance is gone. But they'll still be a bit bitter and disappointed, even if they are to, which is probably inevitable now that they're going to go and win the league on Sunday. I'm not holding on to that we can do it. But I'm still showing some faith and believing until it's mathematically not possible.
I'm still keeping faith, Daz. Honestly, it's unlikely, but strange things have happened, Daz. And I always keep doing this, going back and doing history lessons. And I'm going to give you one more, everyone one more, because I've been doing it all week. Let me just turn my mic volume down because I'm peaking. 1995, Manchester United had a chance to win a double. And that was big in those days, because the champions of England in them days only could go to the Champions League. There was only one place up for grabs in the old European Cup. the Champions League in the early days. Manchester United had Everton in the FA Cup final, and that's, as we all know, that was the last time Everton won a trophy. They beat Manchester United in the final. So Man United left the season empty-handed. Now, it's not far-fetched that it happens to Man City, because when the pressure gets the better of you, it does funny things to people. How I see things playing out in my head, in my scenario, we get the job done tonight. Sunday, I think the keys, Liverpool get the early goal. The longer Manchester City are holding up with Villa, who knows what could happen, Daz. You know, look, 10 years ago, okay, this Manchester City team is levels above 10 years ago. But look, we rewind to 10 years ago. Who would have thought Manchester City was going to struggle against QPR? I never. Everybody had that as they're going to blow them away in the opening stages. They struggled and struggled and struggled. And remember, QPR had 10 men, couldn't break them down. And as we know, a bit of magic. Dzeko gets the equaliser in 90-odd minutes, and then the rest is history with Aguero. So who knows what's going to happen? I think for me, and like I said previously, I'm riding LFC string. I believe, God, the football gods are smiling on Liverpool for whatever reason, whether it's meant to be, and we get a domestic double or the treble, the Champions League, or the Premier League title involved in that, whether that's the treble or the quadruple. I just believe something's there, because if you look, in the past, Mane missed a penalty in a shootout. And normally when a team does that, the opposite team gets a redemption. They get a chance to redeem themselves. But fortunately for us, Mount missed it. And then we went on to win the shootout. So you can say it was a bit of luck, because in all 4 games, we drew with Chelsea. We snuffed each other out, you know, and we got the breakthrough in the penalty shootout. And I just feel like with Riyad Mahrez missing that penalty, Manchester City were giving their reprieve. They were 2 goals down. They came back to make it 2-2. They were given a lifeline to basically put this Premier League title nonsense to bed and put us all out of our misery. And it didn't happen. So I just feel like the team, even the team Klopp's pull out tonight, you know, they're good players. Your Joneses, your Elliott, your Milner, Mr. Reliable. We all know what he can do. You know, we got a decent back line there with Konate, Matip, Gomez and Tsimikas. And then the front line's decent as well. And we've got big players that we can call upon from the bench. They know they can give it a last little goal and take it to the last game, even if the boys fall short and Manchester City do the job. Look, 2 trophies, possibly 3, and 1 point off the top is a magnificent season. There's nothing to feel so down and sorry for yourself about. Yes, they'll look back at what ifs and what onlys we didn't drop points, etc. Brightons and Brentford. But I know we'll go again next season. And for me, it's just a case of getting this job done tonight and going to Sunday. I can honestly say, hand on heart now, I feel relaxed about it. And if it ain't meant to be, it's not meant to be. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Sorry, Laser, I got a bit cut off.
No problem.
It's what we call the McDonald's Wi-Fi. I'm holding on to faith. Look, the chances are very, very slim. I still think you can still get Liverpool. You can still get Liverpool at 7-1 to win this league still, which is... But it starts tonight, Laser. We got to win tonight. Whatever we're expecting from Gerrard or Villa, which is highly unlikely that they're going to go there and beat them or draw them. But if we're expecting that we got to win tonight, I'm looking at tonight's team, and it's a mix of some experience, inexperience, but we still have enough out here tonight, and we players as well to get the job done, but players as well that will be fighting for a spot next season. So Taki Minamino I'm looking at, you know, for next season. And we know Milner will be close to offer a new contract, and he was really good when he came on the weekend. We know Curtis Jones, his performance has been a bit, you know, inconsistent. He will want to, you know, get a bit more consistency and show more of what he's worth. Gomez as well. Gomez hadn't really had much of a sniff this season. I thought he done really well when he played against Norwich in the league game where we were 1-0 down, come back to 3-1. But we've seen very little of him. Tsimikas has been brilliant when he's come in. Obviously got the winning penalty draw day, but he's been probably the best of the obviously the fullbacks there. He's come in for Robbo. He's been brilliant. But I'm looking around, and Konate, unbelievable. Matip, unbelievable. Alisson, best keeper in the world. Gomez, we know, put in a really good performance. Tsimikas, we know, very reliable. Milner, we know what we get out of him. Jones, Elliott is going to be interesting and exciting. The 2 lads, we know there'll be a really good bond and friendship with each other. We know Jones is that bit more experienced than Elliott, but Elliott is great football arrogance, and he's really good and has great belief and confidence in himself. And then up front with Taki, Bobby, Jota, we all know what Jota and Bobby can do. And then Minamino, as I said, a top goal scorer in the 2 cups now. He played at the earlier stages and got a couple of goals. But look, he's done well. It's brilliant this season, you know.
Yeah. Can I
Big
try
shout
with
out to
Taki?
TV.
Big up to yourself, Club Talk TV. I'm just thinking to myself with Taki, you know, because obviously a lot of people might have said, oh, how come Origi didn't give Sniff a chance tonight? But I'm looking at it possibly for Taki to be in the shop window tonight, you know, for his audition, because something's telling me he won't be here in the next season. I don't think Taki will be here next season with Liverpool. I can't see it. You know, he's reliable when he's called upon, you know, as you alluded to. He's the top scorer in the Cups, you know, and he's played his part, because without Taki, we wouldn't have won the League Cup. He got the late goal against Leicester City before Christmas. You know what I mean? So we've got to give credit where credit's due. But I'm just looking and wondering if players like Elliott and Taki, is it a chance for them to prove to the manager, you can stay with us, you're good enough to stay with Liverpool for another season, or you're auditioning to go elsewhere? Do you know what I mean? Because as you know, Taki was with Southampton on loan. Yeah. I
think, Laser, that it's very hard, obviously, to get into this Liverpool team and play game time.
Yeah.
But I think some of these lads need and crave game time. And I think the fact that they haven't got it, it's very hard to see the best of our ability. And I think Minamino was a lot better than what we've seen, but again, he doesn't get game time. Gomez, we've seen when he played centre-back or full-back before, is a really good defender, but doesn't get enough game time. And it's the same with Curtis Jones, Harvey Elliott. Like Harvey Elliott, Thiago comes out of the League Cup final, Elliott goes in and starts in a really good game. You know, and these big games are won and lost in midfield, and on the day he done really well in midfield. And he was having a great start to the season. He was getting in ahead of Thiago, Keita in some games, but obviously he got that horror injury at Leeds and that set him back. But I think Elliott, Jones do have a future at Liverpool, but tonight is a big chance for him to prove that. And I think as well, probably more so for Minamino, because he's one that at times has struggled coming in. But I think he's a great squad player to have. And unless we can get someone better, then I'm happy with him around, you know. Southampton, look, they haven't done a lot in the league last season and this season. They've had a couple of big wins, but they're safe now with 2 games to go. They'll be delighted with that. It's a send-off, as you said, playing for pride tonight, the last home game of the season. They've lost 3 of the last 5 games. They drew 1 against Brighton, and one of those games they won was against Arsenal, actually back in around the Easter weekend there. But that they're not in great form. Look, I mean, Nathan Redmond, James Ward-Prowse in there, you know, they can cause problems. Coyle is a Walker Peters and Diallo in there, Tele, you know, these lads can obviously up their game, and these will relish playing against Liverpool tonight. Anybody will against Liverpool, because they're the most informed team. I was looking at something coming into this, Laser. We've only lost 1 game this calendar year. Well, obviously we're only in May now, and that was against Inter Milan.
Inter Milan,
so one defeat in 32 games. I think we won 24 or 25 of them. So, you know, we've been remarkable, absolutely extraordinary, and it'd be just great tonight to get the win. Sure, I need the critics up, and then it all goes into the last game of the season, and then let's fire it out on Sunday on the grandstand finale, you know.
Yeah, it's going to be a crazy one. You know, we get that win tonight, and then a lot of our fan base will be dreaming, and there would also be a lot of fans who be like, what ifs, and if only we didn't drop points to Spurs. And it's weird, because I remember, you know, not so long ago we drew with Man City at the Etihad. And a lot of the pundits were saying Man City and Liverpool, don't be surprised if they both win all out their games. And it hasn't gone that way. We blinked first and drew with Spurs. And Man City also blinked and dropped points to West Ham. So we both have dropped points. So is there going to be one more sting in the tail? And I just can feel it. Whether that could be tonight. It could be tonight and it could be all over. Southampton could get their win, you know, and their cup final, as their manager puts it. Or it could go last day, and as many has been predicting for months on end, Steve and Joe are going to do something. Who knows? Who knows? But it's very interesting.
It could be like Gerrard finally wins the Premier League for Liverpool. You know?
I know. Coutinho.
Who are you looking most forward to seeing tonight for Liverpool then, obviously with the 9 changes, Laser?
I'm looking forward to see Bobby back and Elliott, you know. Looking forward to see what Elliott can do in the midfield, because it's been a while, because if my memory serves me right, he did. He played in the Champions League game, wasn't it? I think it was it the Milan game, and he didn't really make a good account of himself.
Away from Milan, we won 2-0. He struggled that night. Yeah.
And he's been out in the cold since then. And it's not nothing to say he's not good enough. It's just the levels the teams performed, the 14 players. You will notice Klopp's been using the core of players, and even the likes of Chamberlain ain't been able to get a sniff. There's been other players that can't get a look in. Minamino, he's been doing a good job when he's been called upon in the earlier cup rounds. So it's interesting and it's funny because some of the fan base was saying, we need to play a strong team regardless that they played 120 minutes. And, ironically, the fresher players tonight will probably do a better job than the players that have been running on fumes in the last few games, because these guys can play 60 minutes. And if we need to make the changes, then we can call upon players on the bench. We've got good players in there tonight. Jota's a goal scorer. We've got Firmino. We've got Mr. Milner, the vice captain. We've got good leadership at the back with Matip. And then we've got Konate as well. Gomez has been there, done it. Alisson as well. So that's a very good team. For me, I'm happy with that team. I'm not looking at that team and saying, we need the 3 points and it's a bit iffy. The only good thing I could say, if I want to criticize, not criticize it, put a blemish on it, will be like Curtis and Elliott together in the midfield. We may struggle because we've got Romelu. He'll be starting for Southampton and he's a bit of a bruiser. He's an enforcer in the middle of the park. But we know what Milner does. We know his type of game, breaking up the play and stuff like that, mopping up and then recycling possession. So I think the key is looking at that. Elliott's a ball carrier and he can bring the ball forward quickly. I'm thinking Klopp has got it in mind. Get the ball up front quick and try and get an early goal and just see the game out professionally. That's what I think. I don't think it's a game hang on as much as possible. Then we bring the changes on and then try and get a goal. I think it's get a goal quite early and just control the game, and get a good way performance. And that's all we need, really. You know what I mean, guys? That's all we need. We don't need it.
Just be professional tonight. Get the job done, obviously. I'm looking at it. Looks like Southampton are going with 3-4-2-1 with Walker, Peters, Prowse, Diallo and Tellett in midfield. Then you've Redmond, just ahead of them, and then is Eloy Anusi, is it? And then Brozier ahead of them. So look, they have a couple of changes. Che Adams and that is on the bench for them, So and Romelu, was it?
Romelu,
Let's wait and see what happens, Oriol Romeo, the midfielder. So and Shane Long, obviously the Irish lad, but he hasn't done very little there, especially in a long time. But
I don't think he's a Premiership footballer. He's a Premier League footballer, Shane Long. If I'm being honest,
I think he'll finish from four. Look, we'll see how tonight goes, but I'm backing us to win tonight, and I do think there's no big surprise for me in all the changes. FA Cup. Last Tuesday, it's been game after game. You could see against Spurs, we were tired. You could see last week against Villa, even though we rotated a bit, there was a couple of players tired, just not themselves. And then the weekend, we had a really good start, full of intensity, energy, urgency, creativity, and we just didn't capitalise. And then in the end, we were put through, a phase of nerve that we again accomplished against Chelsea, and it's an unbelievable, and the rest is history, and we've doubled the light now, we've won the double. So let's hope after tonight, look, I'm not going to go into the quadruple talk or any of that, I don't think that's, we've a Champions League final to look forward to, which is going to be huge, but tonight we need to get the job done, and let's hope and pray that from tonight we can have the same we can even have better availability, because it looks like Van Dijk will possibly be back the weekend, Salah possibly back for the last game against Wolves. It doesn't look like Fabinho will be back against Madrid, but we just don't want to have any more injuries, But ladies, we'll wrap it up there now, because I'm mindful we're 20 minutes away to kick off.
What's your score prediction for tonight? That's Mr. Darren Wheeler.
I think we'll get goals. I'm looking Matip, Konate, Tsimikas, Gomez. I'm sure enough with that defence, and then Milner protecting them. We go here tonight, and I'm going to go for a 1-0. 1-0. Get the job done. 3 points, clean sheet. Yeah, I don't know. Look, it can be any score tonight. Yeah. But just
as long as we get the win. I'll go for 2-1. 2-1.
2-1 Liverpool.
Yeah,
okay.
2-1. Yeah, I think Southampton will score. I think Bobby will get a goal. I think Bobby and possibly Jota. Bobby and Jota. And I think they will possibly equalise. I think they'll either take the league or equalise, and then we'll just push on. I hope it ain't like that. But I just see, I don't know if we'll keep a clean sheet tonight. I think their crowd will be up for it. But who knows? Football's funny like that. We could blow them away with our second string.
They haven't been. I think wasn't the last game they were Was it Brentford beat them 3-0?
Brentford, yeah. They've been poor. Southampton have been poor. They've been poor. Yeah.
But they're safe and they'll be happy with that to build on next season. Laser, really appreciate you coming on, brother.
No
Thanks
problem,
very much.
Daz.
And
Always.
take care. Enjoy the game, bro.
Yep, I will speak. See you later, people. Peace.
Have a good one.
Peace.
Yeah, that was Laser in there. Always great to get Chris on. Remember everybody to like, comment, share this video. As I said, I'm going to go for 1-0. Laser's going for a 2-1 win to Liverpool. We win tonight. We bring it to the last game of the season. Liverpool have been involved in every game and every competition. Come Sunday, we'll have played 63. Is it 62 games? Sorry, we'd have played in the Champions League final 63 games. What a remarkable season. Absolutely extraordinary so far. But there could obviously be more to come in this league title. And if it goes to the last game of the season, who knows what can happen. Hope you all enjoy the game. Have a good evening. All take care.